Hi students, so in this video we are discussing one of the important lesson in geography. So that is fifth lesson. Here they given land resource of Karnataka. So in this chapter we are discussing land is one of the important part to develop a country. So on that base, so which are the purpose for we are using our land resource? And next one we are discussing most of the people in Karnataka, they are doing work as a agriculture work. And why this one is important, and what are the types of farming methods we can see in Karnataka. And finally we are discussing which are the crops, major crops growing in the papers of Karnataka. So these are the matters we are discussing in this video. So first one we want to know about land utilization or land resource. So what is meant by land utilization or land users? So that only we want to know. So before that we want to know Karnataka. This is geographically one of the important places based on geographical structure. Because we can see there are different types of soil or climate conditions and minerals and water resource also, groundwater. So in that base, this is one of the special places. And in that based on resource, our land, especially in Karnataka regions peoples, they are using the Karnataka's land as a different purpose. So that means they give a name as a land utilization. That means land users. So that means that we want to know what is meant by land users. So here they are saying the meaning of land users, using a land for various purpose. We are using land for a different purpose. Not for any one ambition or one aim. No. We are using for different purpose or different objectives. Some of them to do cultivate. Some of them to establish industries, some of them some other activities for they using a land. So these like here they are saying land utilization means we are using land for different purpose or various purpose. So this only they give a name as a land utilization. So on that based we can see in Karnataka there are different types of land uses or land utilization. So first one here they given cultivable land, second one they said forest land and fallow land and land for residential purpose and constructions of roadways, railways, dams, canals, barren lands and land used for grazing purpose. So these like we can see peoples utilizing land for different ambition or different aim. Because of who are they living in Karnataka, they are not using for same purpose this one land, Karnataka's land. They are using for different purpose. So that's why this one of the important part, because of economically our state want to become a developed. So this one is must and should need. We want to use our land as a different purpose. So here they are saying totally in our Karnataka we can see totally 19.5 lakhs hectare. So that much of land we can see in the state of Karnataka. So this much of land, 19.5 lakhs hectares, that much of land they are using for different purpose. That means which are the purpose that they are using? So that only now we want to know. So first one here they given pattern of land utilization of Karnataka. So in what are the types or how we are utilizing our land. So first one here they given on that net area zone. So what is meant by net area zone? So here they are saying which land we are using only the purpose of agriculture. Only we are using that land for a cultivation. To do cultivate on that particular land. Means what to grow? Crops. So these type of land were they give a name as a net area zone. And this land we cannot distribute or this land did not distribute equally in overall the state. Because of we already know in Karnataka already we have discussed about physical structures, some of the area forest land, some of the area mountains or hill stations, rock mountains, monolithical hills. So these like of structures, physical structures we can see in Karnataka. So here they say in Karnataka how many of land are there? 19.5 lakhs hectares. So this much of lands also we cannot say as a net area zone. That means to do cultivable land. So these like of structures we cannot see. So here they are saying, for example, here they are saying Gulbarga, this is the highest land under the cultivable area or cultivable land. We can see in the district of Gulbarga. And next one here they are saying some other districts also. For example, Belgavi, Vijayapura, Tumkuru, Raichuru, Bagalkote, Ballari, Chitradurga and Mysore districts. So these are the districts. Peoples, they utilizing their land for the purpose of cultivate, to grow crops. So in that purpose only they using land. And some of the areas we can see less percentage. For example, here they given Bengaluru district. So in this Bengaluru district, we can see least net area zone. Means peoples, they are not using that land for the purpose of cultivate, to grow a crops. So in that purpose they are not using, because of that area is fully urbanized. We can see the most important industries we can see in the district of Bangalore. So that's why here the net area zone area is least. And next one, in Uttara Kannada, Dakshina Kannada and Udupi and Kodagu. Here also we can see less cultivable land. We cannot see that much of high percentage of lands we cannot see to purpose of to cultivate. So these like in Karnataka we can see some of the area we are utilizing the purpose of net area zone. That means to cultivate the land. So in that purpose only we are using. And second types here they are saying land utilization. So that is forest area. So these like of forest area also we can see in the region of Karnataka. So here they are saying Uttara Kannada. So this is the highest forest area in Karnataka. This is Uttara Kannada district. This is the highest forest area in Karnataka. Not only this one, we can see some other districts also. So which are the districts in we can see these like of highest forest. So here they are saying Shivamogga, Chamarajanagar, Chikamagaluru, Kodagu, Belagavi, Dakshina Kannada and Udupi and Bellary. So in these regions we can see the most of the area is covered by forest. And some other regions also we can see less forest area. So that is Vijayapura. Vijayapura, in this area or in these districts we can see less forest. And some of the areas we can see moderate forest areas. For example, Bengaluru, Bengaluru Rural, Raichuru, Bidar, Gadag. So here also we can see not that much of less or moderate. Not we cannot see that much of high range of forest areas we cannot see in these districts. Some of the less forest areas we can see in these districts. So now we understood there are two types of land utilization. One is net area zone, second one is forest area. So now third one we want to know. So third one here they given land not available for cultivation. So here they are saying some of the lands we cannot utilize or we cannot use the purpose of cultivate or the purpose of to grow a forest. So these like a forest were they given name as a land not available for cultivation. For examples, we can see, for example, here it is saying routes, road and residence, industries and irrigation projects. So these are the lands we cannot use for any other purpose. In road, we cannot cultivate any crops or we cannot grow any forest trees also we cannot grow it in that regions. So that's why they're saying some of the areas we cannot do any other activities. So in that such of areas they give a name as a land not available for cultivation. And in recent days we cannot see these like of land utilizations was increased because of we are giving more importance to about development. So that's why we can see these like of land utilizations. And Bengaluru urban district, this is the first place we are given to this like of purpose. In Bangalore urban, in these regions we cannot see highest area coming under as a land not available for cultivation. And not only this one, we can see some other districts also. For example, Shivamogga, Tumkuru, Belagavi, Bellary, Mysore, Dakshina Kannada districts. So these are the districts we can see. In this most of the area we cannot use that land for a cultivation. So now we want to know which district have least position in this land not available cultivation in this party. So here they are saying by Bidar. Bidar, this one is least position and other districts are moderates. That means in middle stage. So these like also land we can see in our Karnataka region. And fourth types here they given, that is other cultivated land. Other uncultivated land. So here they are saying some of the area as some of the place we cannot cultivate. But not coming this one land for under the not available for cultivation. So in that purpose for also this one not coming. Here is saying some other lands also we cannot cultivate. So in that land for they given name as a other uncultivated land. For example, here they saying, permanent grazing lands and trees and groves. So these are the areas we can see. So here they are saying that means some of the areas we can see that area is grazing land. So government they did that land as a for the purpose of grazing to grow a grass. And some of the areas we can see as a parks. So these like area also we cannot cultivate that particular land. So that's why they give a name as a other uncultivated land. So in which districts we can see these like of other uncultivated land. So here they are saying this land located in most of the here they are saying the districts of Shivamogga, Tumkuru, Kolar, Chikamagaluru and Chitradurga districts. Here we can see most of the areas are grazing lands and trees and groves. So that's why here we cannot cultivate the lands. And here they are saying some other least districts also we can see Gadag, Bagalkote, Dharwad districts. Here we can see least uncultivated lands. And some others also we can see, but nowadays in this land also people they utilizing and they converted this land as a agriculture purpose. So this like also we can see. And next one, fifth one they given last one types of land utilization. So that one here they given name as a fallow land. So what is meant by fallow land? Here they saying, so any one land we are cultivated more than 2 or 3 years. So after that, if in that land the fertility level is become down, so people they are not cultivating that particular land. So that is wasteland. So these like of land for they given name as a fallow land. So now we understood what is meant by fallow land. Fallow land means here they are saying the area, here they are saying 2 or more 3 years, more 2 or 3 years they are not cultivating because of in that land the fertility level become very low. We cannot grow the crops because of less fertility, or we cannot supply sufficient water in that particular land. So this like of land for they given name as a fallow land. So this like of area we can see in Karnataka, especially here they saying Kalaburgi. Kalaburgi we can see highest numbers of fallow land area. And we can see some other districts also. Here they saying Raichuru, Belagavi, Vijayapura, Koppal, Tumkuru districts also we can see. And some less also we can see in the districts of Chikmagaluru, Kodagu, Mysuru, Uttara Kannada, Udupi districts. And some of the lands we can see nowadays, we can see they utilize they converted this land also for an agriculture land based on underground water. As some of time the government also implemented some of the irrigation projects. So on that basis some of the land nowadays converted as a cultivable land or agricultural land, or we can say net area zone. So these like we can see there are different types of land utilizations in Karnataka. So now we understood there are 5 types of land utilizations we can see in Karnataka. So one is net area zone, second one is forest area, third one is land not available for cultivation, fourth one other uncultivated land, last one fallow lands. And we are discussed of definition also. Net area zone means which are the areas we are cultivating the purpose of agriculture. This one we are given name as a net area zone. Forest area means that area is fully covered with forest. And third one, land not available for cultivation means which are the areas we have constructed roads, industries or residency. So these are our irrigation projects. So this land we are given name as a land not available for cultivation. And another one, other uncultivated land means we already discussed the land is only we are using the permanent grasslands or trees or groves. Already told parks. So in that purpose only we are using. So this only they given name as a other uncultivated land. And last one we have discussed fallow land. So any lands they are not cultivated more than 3 years. So these like of land we can call as a fallow lands. So these like in Karnataka we can see we are using or we are using the land for a different purpose. And next one we want to know, now we have discussed about land utilizations. So next we want to know that means agriculture. Because of when you are discussing about India or Karnataka, so most of the peoples they following their occupation as a agriculture. This is the traditional occupation. We can see ancient time onwards peoples they following these occupation only. So here they are saying, and already we are knowing agricultural land means which land we are cultivating for the purpose of agriculture. So this only we are called as a agricultural land. We can see agriculture means not only we are growing crops, so that much on agriculture, no. There's some other works also we can see in agriculture. Some of them we can say animal husbandry or poultry or beekeeping or sericultures. So these also including we can say as a agriculture. And here they saying at recent days, here they saying 61.4% of peoples in Karnataka, they doing their occupation as a agriculture work. That means more than 50. That means 61.4%. So that much of people at present they doing their work as a agriculture work because of their livelihood. And now we want to know why this much of people they using are they following by this only occupation. Why this one is important? Why agriculture is important? So they say because of this is ancient and primary occupation of Karnataka. Not only in Karnataka, in India also. So when we are discussing about the history, so in beginning stage of Indian history, peoples on the time onwards, they followed only one job or one occupation, that is agriculture. They don't know any other occupations. So on that based, this one is main occupation for their livelihood. Here they are saying because of they don't know any other jobs, so that's why they want to live, they want to get the food. So in that purpose only, especially in Karnataka and India, peoples they followed their job or their occupation as a agriculture work. And this one is one of the important point. And not only this one point, next one we want to know, this one is economically backbone of state economy. This agriculture is backbone for our state economy. Because of most of the peoples, they doing work as agriculture. So what they get the income, so this only they giving tax as a state government. So this is a basic income for our main source of income for state government. And next one here they say economic progress also depends on agriculture. Because of most of the people they're working as agriculture work. So we want to discuss about economic progress because of we want to see the occupations. So on that based, agriculture also one of the important part to develop economical route as our state. And next one here is saying why this one is important, because of there are so many people they got employment opportunity because of agriculture. So that's why this one is important. And this one is providing food for peoples. And this agriculture works providing raw materials to industries. So in that purpose for also agriculture is important. And next one here they say, and this one is major source income of state government, already I told, and foreign exchange also. At present we are exporting our agriculture product to other countries. So we also earning there is some extra incomes also, some profits also. So this is also one of the important point. And we can see which are the things we are exporting to foreign. So here they are saying, for example, coffee, silk, spices, tobacco, cotton. So these like of crops we are exporting to foreign. So we are earning income. So that's why agriculture is important. And next one here they are saying, and not only this one, agriculture sector or agriculture department, this one development here they are saying, in this based on agriculture works, some other sector also was developing, especially territory sector. So already we have discussed about industrial sector, we are providing raw materials. Same way service sectors also, they also utilizing as agriculture. So in this purpose for also agriculture was important. Because of we are developing transport system, our banking, our insurance companies are developed in India because of the agriculture profit. So these and not only this one, and in our political matters and social systems in also, this agriculture is one of the important role. Because of our state government, if they want to implement any programs or any plans, they want to implement related of agriculture field. Because of most of the people, they are doing work as agriculture. Already we have discussed 61.4% of people. So that's why agriculture is one of the important occupation in Karnataka. And now we want to know next one point. Here in agriculture, we have discussed cultivation. So here we can see there are different types of cultivation. We have discussed 61.4% of people, they are doing work as agriculture work, occupation as agriculture work. But in that, the peoples, they are not cultivating same method of their particular land. Because of there, some of the factors are there. So on that base, peoples, they are cultivating their land as a different farming method. So what are the factors we can see? Why people they cultivating as a different method their land? So because of here they saying, one is the size of land holding. This is one of the important factor. Some of them they have more than 100 hectares. Some of them they have 1 or 2 hectares. So this is one of the important factor. And second one, land fertility. So in Karnataka we can see some of the land or some of the soils have high fertility level. Some of the soils they have less fertility. So this is also one of the important factor. So on that based, they are seeing, observing. So which crops if we are growing in this soil, we can get more profit. So on that base, they are growing the crops and they using their method, cultivation methods. And third one here is saying availability of water. So this is also one of the important factor. So if they are getting sufficient water, they can grow irrigation crops. So if they are not getting that much of sufficient waters, so they want to grow dry farming method. So these methods also we can see, and amount of rainfall. So this is also one of the important factor. Especially in Karnataka, most of the people, the agriculture land depends on rain. Because of if they got rain, so they can grow irrigation crops. So if they are not getting the rain, they cannot grow that of sufficient waters get needable crops, they could not grow it. So these also we want to know. And next one here they are saying by climate. This is also one of the important factor. Because of based on climate conditions, the crops are growing. Especially in Chikmagaluru, we can see most of this climate is suitable to grow the crop of coffee or tea. So if you are going any other regions, so we cannot grow this of crops because of the climate are different. So this is also one of the important factor. And physical features, the structure of the land surface. If it's the hilly stations, we can go plantations crops. If it's the flat land, we cannot grow the plantations crops. So that is not a sufficient place to grow a plantations crops. So this is also one of the important feature. And market facilities. So they are observing the farmers. So in which crops, if I grow, I will get the profit. So this is also one of the important factors. So in that based, these are the important factors. In that phase, farmers they are thinking and they are using their own method to cultivate a land. So on that based, we can see there are different types of cultivations in Karnataka. So one is here is saying subsistence farming. Second one here is saying by irrigation farming. And next one here is saying by dry farming and mixed farming, shifting cultivation and commercial farming and plantations farming. So these we can classify as a different types of cultivation of our land. So one by one we want to know. So what is meant by subsistence farming? So we are growing crops, the purpose of to grow a crops for our livelihood. Not for a commercial purpose or not for a other purpose. Only we are growing food crops or we are growing crops for our only to fulfill our needs. So in that purpose only we are growing. So this only they give a name as a subsistence farming. And second one here is saying that is irrigation farming. So here irrigation farming in which are the land or which are the crops they are growing but using canals or tanks or wells. So these of crops we are utilizing of canals, tanks or wells. So this of crops method for they give a name as a irrigation farming. Because of we are not getting sufficient water, so we want to use as an alternative method. So on that base they growing a crops. So that's why they give a name as a irrigation farming. And on that based on irrigation farming, we can see some of the important examples crops. One is paddy, second one is sugarcane. So this is the best example for irrigation farming. And third one we want to know, so that is dry crops or dry farming. So some of the crops we are growing only dependent on rain. So these of crops were they give a name as a dry farming. In that crops were should not then no need that much of sufficient water, because of only if little bit water is also enough to grow a crops. So these like of crops are cultivation for the given name as a dry farming. So examples we can say ragi, jowar and oil seeds. So these like of crops were we no need that much of water. Our crops also, they should not need that much of water. So if less rainfall or less water enough to grow these like of crops. And next one here they given, that is here they saying plantations farming. So what is mean by plantations farming? So here they saying some of the peoples they growing annual crops in large areas. Some of the peoples they growing annual crops in large areas for the purpose of earning a money or income. So these like of crops were they given name as a plantations crops. For example, here they saying coffee, tea, rubber and coke. So these are important crops we can see as a plantations crop. And next one we want to know, that is commercial farming. So what is meant by commercial farming? Here people they growing a crops but not for their livelihood. They growing crops for a commercial purpose. These crops they growing not for their livelihood or not a domestic purpose. They using or they growing crops for a commercial purpose. So these like of land these like of farming for they given name as a commercial farming. Examples tobacco, cotton and jute. So this one we are not using for domestic purpose. This one we are using for commercial. We are giving to raw material. We are providing raw material as a industries. So these like of crops are they given name as a commercial crops. And next one here they saying, so these like we can see the crops. There are different types of farming method or cultivation methods. And nowadays we can see one of the important farmings is developed, that is mixed farming. So this is one of the important farming methods nowadays people they adapted in their agricultural land. They're growing crops including that one, some of them they're doing dairy farmings, that means cattle rearing, some of them silkworm rearing, and some of them sheep rearing, and some of them poultry and beekeeping, fishery. So these like of including agricultural land, they doing some other agricultural activities also, including this one. So these like of cultivation method for they given name as a mixed farming. So now we understood, that means what are the types of cultivations methods we can see in Karnataka. Subsistence farming, and next one we have discussed irrigation farming, dry farming, mixed farming, shifting farming, and commercial farming and plantations farming. So here we want to know another one is, that is shifting farming. So shifting farming is in beginning stage they growing in one particular land and they are cultivating the land. So afterwards when they not getting that much of profit in that particular land, they shifting the land to some other places. And they once again they cultivating in that land. So if in that particular land also about 3 years, if that fertility level is become low, or if they got so much of loss, so once again they shifting the land. So these like of method for they give a name as a shifting cultivation. So these like we can see there are different types of cultivations methods in Karnataka. So in this video, so that means we have discussed about what is meant by land utilization, and we have discussed about what are the different types of land utilizations or land uses, and last one we have discussed agriculture and why this one is important, and what are the types of cultivations methods we are using in Karnataka. So these are the matters we have discussed in this video. So next class we can discuss about the major crops. So which are the crops we are growing in Karnataka, and the crops is coming in which are the types of cultivation methods. So that one we can discuss in next video. Okay.